Hi from my platform, Linda's TV show. If it is your first time, you are welcome. Please, after watching this video, if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification. It is very, very important because it will enable you to know when I upload a new video. Here we upload videos on daily basis as it is happening. We are bringing it live and direct, undirected to you. After watching, you are free to criticize, you are free to say your opinion, but let us say it constructively. Myself, Linda, will be standing here watching this video together with you from the beginning to the end. Then we'll go to the comment section. I appreciate you all, my lovely subscribers, followers, those who comment and share this video as we watch the video right now.
Good that Nnamdi Kanu'S has been discharged. There were 5 issues for determination, and in the concluding paragraphs of the ruling, it was made clear that he's been discharged in fact of all charges. But the Attorney General's office seems to have a different interpretation, that he's only been discharged, he's not been acquitted, and that the only matter at stake was extraordinary rendition, rather than the other charges that the federal government filed against him. So what's your take on all of this? Because everybody has become worried. What's the difference between discharge and acquittal? And what exactly does the federal government want to do? In the light of the fact that you were part of a delegation that visited the president and advised that, look, let's have a political solution to this matter. Let Nnamdi Kanu go. Your take, sir.
Thank you very much. The hearts of kings are in the hands of God. We pray God to move Buhari to do justice and to respect the courts, his own courts. The ASU people have gone back to school in obedience to court order, even though they were not happy with it. Now, let our government lead by example to comply with court order. What I heard was that Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted. Government can put words into court's decision and say it is only discharged. But if it is only discharged of the heinous crimes he is accused of, that's enough to release him. In fact, unconditionally. In fact, not even unconditionally now, just by the decision of the courts. So I don't think what is happening is good for society in general. Law and order. Division of judiciary, executive, legislation. All this should be respected in a democracy. But impunity seems to be the name of the game, especially with respect to government. We went to the president and we got a very good response from him about releasing Nnamdi Kanu. In November, I got personally information that the president wants to release both Iboko and Nnamdi Kanu, setting them free from the charges against them. Eventually, I heard only of Iboko being set free from the charges against him. Nnamdi Kanu is still there. May God make it that the president looks at the state of the nation and releasing Nnamdi Kanu, we human beings should try to read the hands of God where it is going and try to cooperate. God seems to want to liberate Nigeria. God seems to want that his destiny for Nigeria should be accomplished, should mature, materialize. God seems to want us to come together now, forget all the past. In fact, it is that wish of God. We don't know, we don't go into the minds of God. But that God has created a situation in Nigeria where all eyes are now open, where nobody can say my religion, my tribe, etc. Now, God gives us a glimpse of a new Nigeria, which I can see the young men, even the old men, the Hausa, even the Fulani, the Yoruba. Every group of Nigerians seems to be looking for this new Nigeria, where everybody is free. We are united, and we make stupendous progress, coming back to answer our father's names as the leader of all blacks, and giving blacks reasons to be happy in the world affairs, and making the whole world realize that the first human creations of God, the black people, were not created in any way inferior to the so-called blue-eyed barbarians. Very soon, it will not be more than 5 years, the rest of the world will see what the black man is made of. And once we are free here and follow the will of God, and I believe it is done. What God cannot do does not exist anywhere. So all we really owe ourselves and God is our knees. We pray God to save us. Save Fulani. Save Igbo. Save Hausa. Save Yoruba. Save all the groups in Nigeria. And all of us will be happy. Okay. Being Nigerians.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much for that inspiring word. In fact, I dare also add that the black people are already doing well all over the world, and we're seeing it in our music and our culture, and it will definitely happen. Nigeria will do well. I want to ask, the Attorney General said they're still studying the judgment. In a case that they take it up to the Supreme Court, what would this mean for you?
Going to the Supreme Court is a waste of time. And I think the government should face the facts, face the situation as it is. What do you get from the Supreme Court? And unless the Supreme Court is somehow dictated to, there's nothing else left for the Supreme Court to do. The judgment of the appeal court is very clear, very total. I don't know, unless the Supreme Court is just to go be told what to say by the government, and it says so. But we have a new Chief Justice, and I don't believe that that man is going to succumb to the kind of impunity which the Malami kind of our church. In fact, I don't blame anybody. I don't blame Malami. I don't blame the president. I don't. God, our God in heaven, the Almighty God, is preparing Nigeria. The Nnamdi Kanu'S case, very soon he will be released. Very, very soon. We, the Igbo elders, are planning to go. If a president wants me to kneel down on behalf of everybody else, I kneel down for him. If he wants me to prostrate, I prostrate for him. Let him release Nnamdi Kanu and let silence some of the people who are fighting against the resurgence of Nigeria and blacks. Some people are giving money to people who don't understand too much to say there will be no election. There will be no election. That's nonsense. There will be election. And anybody who can see will see that things are cooling down as a result of some movements. So it is better that we do it earlier than later. Let the federal government not go to Supreme Court. It makes it gives a wrong impression to the ordinary Nigerians like me. So, there's not much to say except to beg the federal government to see reason. Not to be kind, but to see reason and do justice, not kindness.
Okay, so after the statement by the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the National Security Council also met on the same matter. And the National Security Council upheld the position of the Attorney General of the Federation. All these semantics over discharge and acquittal. Now, would Igbo elders consider the option of seeking audience with President Buhari again? Because you recall at your last meeting and some other, fora, he said he did not want to interfere with the judicial process. Now that there is a court of appeal ruling on the basis of which government can act, will it not be, an opportunity again for Igbo elders to visit the president again on this particular matter? Would that be helpful?
I must tell you that our leader, Professor George Obiozo, President General of Hanes and Ndibo, called me the same day the issue came up and said that he's preparing for us to go to the president and persuade him to do the right thing. And I told him, of course, that I'm ready. And very soon, he will get appointment, and we go to the president to ask. National Security Council. Well, I don't know how independent the National Security Council is. But whichever council, National Insecurity Council or National Security Council, should look at the atmosphere and make judgments based on realities. You don't say you are National Security Council. And by the way, I know Igbo man is in that place. So, and that is not, this is one of the things that annoy the young men. As if Nigeria, the federal government of Buhari, is making all the effort to push the southeast out of Nigeria. They cannot push us out of Nigeria. We are here. We voted with our feet for one Nigeria. And everywhere you go, you remove the indigens, and we are the next people. Our money is everywhere, developing everywhere. Just as our ancient dictum goes, where a person lives, he develops. He just say where you live must be your home. But We are even overdoing it. We are developing the rest of Nigeria without going to our house, our home. And that is why my inaugural address to Anambra people was, think home. Invest in Kaduna, invest anywhere, everywhere in Nigeria, but invest also at home. So please, the National Security Council should have done a little better than joining government as such.
Okay. Okay. So
I don't think, excuse me, the longer you keep Kanu in detention, the greater the problem you are posing for us. For example, who is enjoying the fact that we are sitting at home on Mondays? People who live by business are forced to sit at home on Mondays. Huh? Even the true IPOB have cancelled it, but people are hungry, and if anything gives them opportunity, that is creating insecurity. This sit at home is another creation of insecurity. So please, the earlier Kanu is released, the better for Eastern Nigeria, the better for Nigeria, but the better for the hope of all blacks. Okay, thank you.
Two things. Then why are there discordant views, even amongst Igbo people? There was a letter circulating. Anyway, Emeka had your house come out to say he didn't write that letter. That it was alleged that he wrote a letter that if Nnamdi Kanu'S is released, that it might affect the stability vis-a-vis elections in the southeast. But Emeka Hedio has denied that letter. So who is plotting, all of that? And speaking of this stability around the election period.
You know our people.
Yeah.
You know our people. You people say we are not united. But I tell you, gentlemen, we are more united than any other part of Nigeria. If something happens and we want to get together, you will see us get together. But we are individualistic in thinking. And anybody can say anything. You know what's happening in the country. You have seen a number of people from the southeast talk differently from the majority of Nigerians. It's just that we don't, until there's a decision, we don't have anybody to say this way, and everybody goes that way.
So where's all of this coming from?
Our president. Pardon?
Where's all of this seed of discourse?
Pardon?
I said, where's all of this seed of discourse coming from? Because Emeka Hedio has said he didn't write the letter. So who put the letter out there to start to destabilize things again in the southeast? Because the person was talking about election stability and all of that. And now we've not been able to trace who wrote that letter. But the letter is making the rounds in the southeast. So who is not in conformity with this? Who doesn't want...
I didn't know about this letter, and I haven't heard you very well to know where it's coming from and the content of the letter. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. And perhaps, I traveled and I just came back. I was following everything.
So what's happened is that there's a letter circulating. Anyway, it's been denied by Emeka Hedio. And they said somebody that he wrote that to Attorney General that he should not be released, Nnamdi Kanu should not be released now because it's going to cause, instability as regards the election period and all of that. But Emeka Hedio has denied writing the letter. So why should they even let us surface like that in the first place when everybody's supposed to be united? So who doesn't want him not to be released among the ranks? That's what we're asking here.
My brother, how do you know that letter came from the southeast to begin with? People, you know what's going on. I have read things that I know are not true. And credited to somebody whom I know he didn't do it. And when I checked, it was true, he didn't do it. So please, the Satan is powerful. I don't believe too much in it, but I'm told that the Satan is very strong. The Satan is working. The Satan can see the bright light coming, and it's worried about our freedom, our unity, our coming together. Even in politics, you hear some dissenting voices from the southeast. If a bishop or a father, a reverend father, made a dissenting statement, as fortunately they took away his adoration ground from him. And one big politician in Nigeria made another statement and ended up in prison in London. Some other people have saying things, and many of them are withdrawing what they said. The real people who said things, we know that they said. So it is not something we should not doubt that temptation is there. What is the logic of the letter? The logic, it says the letter that if Kanu is released, it will cause problem about the election. That is the opposite of the truth. And Nigeria should be thinking about the truth. If Kanu is released, protests in the southeast dies down. And the fake people, including unknown government, will go down. Through IPOB already are very, very reasonable in what they do. And through IPOB, some who are dictating to some criminals in the southeast, and very soon their own will be over. But if he is retained there, there's a reason for continuing to protest. The people of the Southeast, let me say it, whether people like to hear it or not, the people of the Southeast voted with their feet for one Nigeria and has been on it and still believes it, unless we are rejected or made slaves in our own country.
Okay, sir.
The moment we are free like other people and there is level playing field, nobody is thinking of Biafra except in the mind. It becomes a concept.
Sir.
So, releasing Kanu is the best step for Nigeria development, explosive economic development, fame around the world, and unity and peace, stability. Everything good comes from releasing Kanu for this country, Nigeria.
Just a moment.
And you can see how.
Right, sir.
Hello?
Yes. I was going to ask a question, but it looks like you are still saying something.
Okay, go ahead and ask a question.
Okay. I was going to say that one suggestion that has been made out there is that the federal government should sit down and negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu to address this challenge of 2023, because the narrative out there is that, maybe Nnamdi Kanu, when he's released, may decide that there should be no elections in the whole of the Southeast. Will Igbo leaders also consider the possibility of meeting with Nnamdi Kanu just in case the federal government is willing to negotiate? That is, Igbo leaders meeting with him.
That is a very constructive. This is a very constructive question, and that points to the correct direction. And we can guarantee you that if Nnamdi Kanu is released, it will make the 2023 election, the most peaceful election in the Southeast, there will be no problem. We talk to our people. Our sons are the young ones you are talking about. Some of them listen to us, and sometimes once they see good reason, they accept it. What do you say? I'm sure you know what's going on in Nigeria. How our people are marginalized, excluded, and treated as if they don't belong here. This is the problem why the boys are crying. You don't beat somebody and say don't cry. And if he's crying, you say you should make him to cry more. So please, thank you for making that suggestion. I can give you the undertaking because I know our people. We can approach the situation, calm things down, and make sure that the election 2023 is one to be talked about forever in Nigeria.
Well,
Positively.
on that note, we'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezefe, for joining us on the morning show.
Thank you so much for sticking to this video to the end. Like I said before, now it's time for us to go to the comment section to air our mind and our opinion. Say what you think about this video and this platform. Do it constructively. Share this video, like, subscribe, and also continue to watch Linda's TV show because this is the home of news. Until I see you again in my next video, remain blessed. For now, I would say bye-bye.